so the reason this video is important here. Okay. Yes, there's a lot of videos on YouTube. You've been lied to, the greatest truth, all this kind of stuff like that. And I watch them and I draw from some of them. I reject other stuff. And I construct what appears to me to be a clear image. So, to be a disclaimer, spirit science, I love spirit science. The most powerful thing from spirit science that I got, just personally, my own personal life experience, maybe your source was different. Maybe you haven't experienced the source. But was the notion of being able to not just rediscover history in one sense, but to literally rewrite it. The capacity to do that. Plus, the flower of life. That has been huge. So you don't have to take my word for it to validate that there's any significance in the flower of life or that it has any magic powers. But you do believe that knowing something matters. You do believe that the more you know something or the better you know something, it could enhance the amount of money you make, which in today's terms is directly correlated with the quality of your life. So on one fundamental level, there's a core element of your humanity that recognizes something in that you are willing to invest mass amounts of energy into. Even though you know there are inherent consequences. So, on that note, I got time. I don't like to go too. In the morning, it's hard for me to talk to people high. Because it's the morning. So, the point of this is, you've been lied to. So you've been lied to. Now, this is the way the lie works. This is, yes, I know, this is like the Matrix. I'm sorry. I didn't make the fucking movie or the line. But everything you've been told is a lie. And you go like this. Yes, but of course this is your defense mechanism to prove that everything you've been told isn't a lie, so as to remain secure in the embryonic fluid of delusion, which we all have a delusion. That's not to see how this works. Because we're humans and we live in delusion. When you manufacture a massive fascist, and again, this has been a while, but it's root words, people. Fascism is the lore. What happens when you throw a shiny, you don't even need food, when you show a shiny piece of metal on a hook and throw that shit in the water and drag it? Well, when the shiny little piece of fucking metal spins around and catches the light, if it's shallow enough, that in and of itself fascinates the fish so that they impulsively go to get it. Humans are animals. The core of our brain, the very base of our brain, is reptilian. So, this goes back to that whole stupid bullshit about whether we came from fucking monkeys or not. The base of our brain is reptilian. It's not fucking mammalian. Um, so, that part of the brain still works, people. And it still affects our decision making skills. And it still has the capacity to actually, because our brain is in, if I'm not mistaken, 3 segments. 3 segments meaning you basically have an iPhone, an iPad, and an iMac. Is that good enough? Um, um, or maybe one's an Android, one's an Apple, and one is Nokia or something else. I don't know. Or the dark web. Yeah, one is like the dark web, one is like the internet, and then one is like what's considered real life. But anyways, fascism basically shuts down the third part of your brain, which is supposed to be considered the human element, and it reduces you down to its goal is to contain you in the first segment of your brain. This is the closest fucking description I can get to this. And I'm telling you, if you don't understand this or you don't give this consideration, this is probably the most. No, again, I steal everything. So when I say the most, I'm always meaning that I just reworded somebody else's stuff. That's fine, but I have to talk this way. This is probably the most in-depth analysis of fascism since on the mass psychology of fascism, which is a book written by William Reich. The significance of William Reich is that he originally wrote the first edition in 1930s Germany with the rise of the Nazi Party, at which his book, I did the second edition in 34. I think it's 33 and 34. Both books banned by the Nazi Party. He was able to get to America at some point in the equation. Able. See, I use their own language. This is how this shit works. So one way or the other, he got to, well, actually, yeah, I'm going to use their language, okay? I'm going to stay with their language because this is how, because this is the only way to understand it. So you can find in history, you read a story, he was able to get out and get to America as if that saved him. Now he comes to America, the war carries on for the next decade and a little bit plus. And as the decade of war and the 55 million dead bodies are tallied, and 50 tallied, then people in America who are fascists but don't know it believe that, wow, we've defeated fascism around the world. Japan, Mussolini, Franco, Spain. What is that country? Romania. Yeah, Romania, which is Roman. Some other shit. So, defeated fascism. And then there's the rise of communism. But, so they convinced William Reich to, oh dude, this will be perfect now that the war's over and fascism's over, that you could actually do another edition, a third edition of your book in America, I believe it's 1954, with all the information available now of the fascists that are gone. So he wrote the book. And let me just say, to give you the summary, everything you know is a lie. Everything your parents have taught you is a lie. That is the structure of fascism. Your parents are the shiny lure, just like theirs were. Because the catch is you chase that shit, as is your primal instinct. And what your parents tell you, you are less likely to ever question because of the foundational role it has in you developing your core identity that you're going to use to navigate this fucking process we call life or society, whatever, whichever one you want to call it, how we break it down. So your parents have to become the primary tool for propaganda and information dissemination. A camera can never do what a father can to his daughter. This doesn't turn women into whores. This does. And the people, actually, not even this. This is just a piece of shit book. This is nothing. This is a piece of paper. Everything inside of it doesn't even well, it makes sense in only one context. But outside of that context, it's just a bunch of fucking disgusting, fucking stupid ass stories of death, rape, and fucking fake virtue. It's portraying virtue in the most disgusting, distorted, fucked up way. So it in of itself can't accomplish shit. The Bible did not, in and of itself, affect my personal life with either my biological family or my extended family, which is daughter, her mom, and even her family. Though they will all say that it is the level or degree of devotion in which they possess or are striving for, or the affection or loyalty that they cherish with their relationship with God, which is nothing but a wording here that is actually meant to imply Rome, as in the imperial empire, or the modern day current variation, the English-Swiss alliance, somehow. That's God. That's Roma. That's amor right now. So, none of that. It's the behavior that is a product of the base part of the mind. When you talk about human potential, in one real sense, human potential is physical, in that they become biological drones. Because you know what the fish is going to do. The fish in and of itself is not a robot. It still has freedom of choice. Fish can't choose. Maybe you're right. What makes you think you can?
Well, obviously I like Nike better than I like Reebok. I only listen to hip hop. I don't like black people. I got the right to choose. I ain't liked black people since I was a baby. It's just natural. I don't even have a choice in the matter no more. I fucks bitches. I fucks bitches. These bitches, I don't give a fuck about these bitches. These bitches is skanks. They just want fucking this. I don't give a fuck about these hoes. I'm just gonna fuck these bitches. Cause I'm right? So freedom of choice is a delusion to those people. And they really do believe that they're choosing the course that they're on. That's why, just like the big truck thing, compensating for insecurities, those projections of character are compensating for the complete opposite. which is the lie. Everything's opposite. So, again, from everything, from the cross being, from what I've drawn from YouTube and what I accept all forward outright, the cross being an actual masonry tool in one sense. Not even that, take that back. Could be used. The cross actually being a universal tool of measurement. Now, the Celtic cross in particular, with the circle, because in the way that it could be held, and the circle actually was a wheel, and the cross point, the sniper point in there, allowed for the angulation, the perfect angles and distance, so that you can, okay, people, listen, 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 listen closely, so that you can measure the distance of stars and planets from where you are standing, as well as the mountain on the horizon, as well as the curvature of the planet, as well as the size of the planet, as well as the distance to the other planets. Now, how they made the distinction between the planets and the stars, the most basic assumption would have to be on the paths traveled. So they recognize at the very least that what are called the planets are closer than what are called the stars. Flip the world around, and let's just say, please just bear with this. Everything we see in the sky that are called stars are actually planets.